Welcome back to DM SMP. Today, we're getting rid of the mound in front of my house. This mound that I've grown to love quite a lot. As you can see, we've set up a nice little doorway entrance here, and the mound kind of sticks through it. We might also need to move some of our sheep because it will be blocking the pathway up. But I'm gonna be so real, I feel really bad about this. I've grown attached to this little mound, and I know it makes no sense because it's just like pieces of dirt that don't even look good, but I look good standing on top of it. And doesn't that count for something? But I guess we have to start somewhere. If you can't tell, this archway is going to be inspired by B00-100's cool little Season 9 build that he did but like never finished. How do I describe it? It's the big doorway challenge. The big doorway in the middle of Savannah that, like, you can find it on the world download, and I'm, like, obsessed with it. Obviously, the actual one-to-one recreation would not fit here. This mountain is not that big. But I can take inspiration from it. I can make a pretty doorway. I believe in myself. And I just have to not break my own heart by tearing down my mountain. Come on. Come on, this character likes to dig. This character likes one thing, and it's digging, and also things that have yet to be revealed, but that's not the point right now. We have to glorify, get in character. It's time to dig. It's time to build. And we're done! Okay, well, technically speaking, we're not done, but I did the door, and I think that's what matters. God, look how cool and pretty this has turned out. Now, like I mentioned before, it was very much inspired by B00-100's, though it is shrunken in a little bit. I just adored his pattern of cobbled deep slate next to the sides of normal non-cobbled deep slate. If you don't know, this is the directional block. It changes depending on if you're looking like it from the sideways or the top, and that's why there were so many dirt things, but I think it turned out so well. I might replace the tuff. I know there's like logic behind why the tuff is there, specifically in like getting the details on the top, but I don't love it. And I also really want to make this more my own. Like, this is very much B00-100's door, and I'm going to be tweaking it throughout the build. I also need to figure out how to connect it to the mountain, and you can tell it's slightly open. So we need to figure out how exactly to work with that as well, because it is going to be, I don't want to say a functional door, but it is the entranceway into our house. It comes down here into our beautiful underground layer with our lovely, lovely tile blocks. And I'm working on a storage system. It's not done yet, but I'm color coding it. Color coding? How do you color code as... Is it a verb or an adjective? I don't know anymore. The spaces are color coded. With these sections of like my diamonds and gold and whatnot and stuff, this is like my cobblestone and my normal stone, and like this is the grays area, and over here is going to be the dark colors, which obviously these were the 2 areas that I needed to work on the door. I'll figure out everything else later when I don't have to build a giant door. But the next step is figuring out how to blend it into the environment, specifically in this back lot area. I tried concrete, which I just think it's too much. The black just is, it makes it look like a stage door, which I mean, it technically is, but we don't need to talk about it. And the gray, we can't use texture because it will blend into the door, but we need some sort of texture that's not concrete. I famously hate concrete. It has no texture to it. Drives me insane. I might do some of this blackstone. I was using some smooth blackstone up there for when the door opens, so that way, like, you don't just see the sky, but it's expensive and it's hard to get, and I don't want to, man. We also need to figure out this front area now. If that's going to be our entranceway, the sheep have to move. We were talking about it before, and I need to find out where to put them now, because this area, it doesn't have the greatest terrain. Like, there's a ravine right there, there's a river right there, and then it's a nice forest I could cut down, but I quite like the forest bordering the doorway vibe. But I don't know. I could put them at the top of my house. We technically have that bonus layer. My one concern for this area would be the fact that I don't believe in walls. We can figure that. We might put like a fence on like one side of this place or whatever and have like a farm over here. This area is meant to be all naturey and mossy and stuff, so yeah. Yeah, we can like clear this out a little bit, but enough for some animals. There we go. See, that's a nice comfy area. We might need to move a few of these, but I'm sure it's probably fine. Yeah, as long as we can jump over and the animals can't, that's all that really matters. And now let's just get a nice train track going for them. Maybe it might be easier to start from the bottom. How do we want to do this? We probably have to go around and then turn up at some point. I'm sure I can figure it out. There's only like a little bit of logic involved in engineering, right? Yeah. Listen, I went to college once and I'm going to go back again soon. Should probably learn this stuff. Oh, did I tell you guys that yet? Yeah, I've decided to go take the classes I need to apply to grad school. I'm technically not in grad school yet. I still have some prerequisites I need to get out of the way, but yeah, Chaos is going back to school. Which is funny because I'm now canonically playing a character who is in university. It's gonna get real confusing when I talk about it. But let's just keep things separated. I plan to go back to grad school to become a speech pathologist. That's someone who, they're called speech therapists, but they're not. If you ever needed speech in school, that's basically the job I want to have. Meanwhile, KS/RP is a business major, I think. I was talking about it with some of the more lore people on this server, and I think that's the one that makes the most sense. Though mayhaps this dude will get a minor in Greek mythology and the classics, just given how information's being thrown at him right now. Listen, if you're suddenly thrown into a LARP camp and have zero idea what's going on, I might take 1 or 2 classes, just if that's at your easy opportunity level. Oh wait, that doesn't work. I don't think he's going to go to school for engineering, I've just decided. He's not that smart. I mean, maybe he is. This could be a masterpiece of engineering, and I just don't understand it. But I don't think I would ride this roller coaster. No! Leave me. Leave me! Leave me, you fools! I knew this was a horrible plan. I knew it. Oh well. It is what it is. Let them free! Let them free, sheepy! Go! Go! Let's get rid of that for the time being. Yeah. I'll probably solve itself out. Sheep, 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 sheep. Sheep! Sheep! The sheep made it in! Oh, beautiful! Oh. Okay, that one was slightly on me. I'm gonna work on getting the rest of the animals up there, and I'll check in with you once, the disaster down there is cleared up. beautiful sunset through the eyes of the train. We got most of the animals out of the pen. There's still one down there who was stuck in a wall, and I didn't feel like freeing him. Also, the polar bear and the polar bear's emotional support sheep, I don't think they're gonna be moved up with the rest of the sheep, but you know, I'll figure out something for them. Now that I think about it too, I probably should have done some like landscaping or detailing up on the top floor before I put the animals up there. We don't really have time for it this week, but the original plan was to have this slightly elevated. I don't like the idea of all the floors being on the same level. Does that sentence make sense? We need some height variation. We need some depth. We need this to be the least wheelchair accessible possible. All right? I mean, outside of trains. Trains belong to everyone and everything, and they will be accessible throughout the end of time. But other than trains, we need some steps. We also need like a way up and down here. I'm thinking of maybe a staircase cut in through back here. Originally I was going to go, back on the side wall. And then we put animals over there. I really put the animals in like the worst spot possible, but other than there, it was hanging over the cliff, which I still might do. Wait, what if we put the polar bear down in the bottom level? I just find it so funny, the idea of a polar bear in the lava farm. Oh, what did this polar bear do? It deserves to be in hell. Don't question it. But yeah, I like the idea of maybe elevating this area 1 or 2 blocks, just enough to give it a little bit of height variation, have some small farmland over here, just its own separate platform with a little fenced off area. Does it even need to be fenced off? Maybe it doesn't need to be fenced off. And then we can add some like lush gardening areas. We can talk to Mage about how to get the perfect garden vibe. We'll figure it out for this corner. I don't think this is where my bedroom is going to be, however. I don't think I would personally fit this lush green aesthetic. Instead, we're probably gonna live down on this level. Or maybe I'll even add like this own subsection level. Like this is quite a lot of space. We can have like a half level here and I can live kind of on... Oh, actually, that sounds really good. Oh, let me get some blocks and we can, like, just rough the idea out. I mean, if I'm just up here already, I might as well build it. It wouldn't be out of concrete blocks. I famously hate concrete blocks. They just don't have enough texture, you know? And if I'm texturing the rest of the base, I know I need to take breaks somewhere, but it's not going to be with concrete, and it's not going to be on... Oh! My platform! No! Okay. As I was saying... This is going to be its own little platform where I live. I'm thinking we're going to be adding some nice homey decorations while still leaving it fairly open. I also feel like I would need a desk. Like I mentioned before, I do like the idea of this character being a college student who actually really cares about going to school. So like over here can be a bed space or whatever, and meanwhile over here will be like a huge desk, and there'll be like a nice comfy couch space, or even a fireplace or something. Ooh, a fireplace sounds so cozy. That is like the most extra workspace, but we need the most cozy aesthetic possible. I don't know. I also don't know how to design interior spaces, and that's basically all that's gonna be, so... We'll figure it out. We have a giant door, we have some cows upstairs, and now we have a floating platform of doom. I think that might be where we have to leave it this week. I am very busy, I very much run out of time, and I know we didn't do a ton, but, I mean, we got a whole door done. That's kind of a lot. Yeah, we got a lot done. Never mind, I didn't talk to you too much, but we got a lot done. And I think that's not at all what matters. I suck at being a YouTuber. I'll see y'all next week where hopefully I'm a little bit more healthy. Bye, guys.